everyone. This presentation will cover the parts and function of an analytical balance and its proper use and care. Analytical balances are precision measuring instruments used in quantitative chemical analysis to determine the mass of solid objects, liquids, powders, and granular substances. The readability has a range between 0.1 to 0.01 mg. They are meant to detect very fine increments, so the slightest vibration or breeze can impact the results. As such, analytical balances should be used in a dedicated room with as few disturbances as possible. Balances do not directly measure mass, they measure the force or weight that acts downward on the balance pad. Most analytical balances are electromagnetic and so measure weight using an electromagnet. Analytical balances need to be monitored carefully and calibrated frequently. Most analytical balances have both automatic internal motorized calibration and calibration with external weights. The following are the parts and function of an analytical balance: the enclosure or the draft shield. This prevents air currents from causing the balance band to move, which results in fluctuating readings. By protecting the balance band with an enclosure or draft shield, constant weight reading can be observed. The level adjustment feet. The balance stands on two height adjustable feet. It is used to check the balance by the level indicator. If the bubble is not in the center, adjust the level by twisting the feet until the bubble is in the center of the inner circle. Leveling feet are adjustable legs that allow the balance to be brought to the reference position. The reference position is determined by the leveling bubble that is an integral part of the balance. The weighing pan. It is the load receptor that serves directly to accommodate the weighing item. The measuring pan of an analytical balance is inside a transparent enclosure with doors so that dust does not collect and air currents in the room do not affect the balance's operation. Door handles. These are mounted on the door slide and are used to open the side and the top doors of the draft shield manually. The level bubble indicator. This ensures that the balance is level before its use. Always check the balance level using the level indicator. If the bubble is not in the center, adjust the level, normally by twisting the feet until the bubble is in the center of the inner circle. The key panel. These are the operating keys that are used to interact with the balance. The LED display shows the current information. The tare button. It is usually found on the key panel of the analytical balance. The tare function resets the digital display to 0 when pressed and will automatically subtract the weight of a weighing vessel from your measurement. Here are some key points to remember in operating an analytical balance. Before you start, level and zero the analytical balance. Look at the leveling bubble on the base of the unit. If it is not centered, center it by turning the leveling feet on the bottom toward the back of the balance until the bubble is in the center of the inner circle. After the leveling is completed, close all the balance door and press the button Level 0 or T on the key panel of the balance. Wait until the unit has zeroed, showing a value with all zeros, a pound symbol or similar symbols that will indicate that the balance is zeroed and ready for use. The samples should be weighed using an appropriate container like weighing paper, evaporating dish, watch glass, and weighing bottle. Ensure that the analytical balance is set to the proper units desired such as grams or milligrams. Place the weighing container on the balance pan and close the door gently. Tare the container by pressing the T button. The readout will read 0 with the container sitting on the pan. This allows the mass of your sample to be read directly. Add the sample to the container and avoid spilling onto the balance. With the sample inside the container, close the balance doors and read the display when it is stabilized. During and after manipulation of an analytical balance, keep in mind the following. Use clean and dry containers for samples and avoid beakers with large or wide openings. Pick the smallest or lightest container possible. Do not interchange voltage regulators to avoid electric shocks that will cause malfunction balances. Always seek assistance from the laboratory instructor and personnel if balances are not working. Avoid vibration. Do not bump the side tables where the balances are placed to avoid motion to the balance that will cause erratic results. Use a clean spatula of appropriate size while placing the sample. Close the balance door while weighing an object in order to prevent air currents from altering the reading. Even the slightest flow of air can throw off a weighing operation, which is why weighing pans are enclosed in movable doors that must be closed after the sample is placed and before weighing begins. Before you record the readings, allow the balance to stabilize. If you want to weigh small amounts of samples, you need to take extra precautions. For instance, use disposable gloves and head caps to prevent hair fall, and use a face mask to prevent breath from affecting the reading. Read and record the weight of the samples only after closing the balance doors. Don't overload the balance. Overloading a balance will often give you an error and can cause permanent damage to the delicate internal mechanisms. Similarly, you shouldn't leave your weighted items on the balance for prolonged periods of time. Keep the weighing chamber clean to prevent cross-contamination of samples and erroneous readings. Once weighing is completed, ensure you have properly cleaned up any chemicals that may have spilled on and or around the balance. Take care not to press down on the pan. Use a brush provided to remove particulates from the pan area. When finished, you should close the balance door to prevent dust and dirt from entering the balance.